Now we're back. Now we've got our castings washed. And if there's any paint left, it's very minimal. Like, very minimal. So, like up in here, and then there. And those are all little spots I can get with the Dremel. So, like I said, how I strip castings, I noticed, is different from the way others strip castings. And what I have noticed is the rush process still leaves you a lot of paint left on the casting. So that's a lot more work for you to get that paint off, when you can get a pickle jar, put stripper in the bottom of it, put a couple of die cast in there. Premiums, you want to put the premiums on top. So put all your die cast on the bottom, like castings like this on the bottom that ain't premiums, because the paint is easier to come off of these ones. Then with the premiums, stack those on top of the castings that you have in the stripper, so that way the premiums are just sitting above the stripper and it's just the fumes getting to them. I found that gets these super clean. You don't have any issues with paint coming off of them at all. So just some helpful advice that I found that works for me. Not saying that everybody has to do it like me. I'm just wanting to give another tool in the toolbox, or knowledge of things that I found that worked for me in the stripping process. So like I said, now that we've got all the paint off of the casting, and we use that brass brush and not a steel brush, our die cast surface is nice and smooth. So technically, very minimal filing needs to be done. Just flash marks and stuff like that, cleaning up all that, and then getting, like I said, all the little leftover paint spots that are still clinging onto the casting. And so I like to, for one, let the die cast dry really good after giving it a bath. But I like to, when polishing these, I like a casting like this that's nice and clean, that I already have all the paint taken off of it. It's a nice smooth surface. And so we'll take our file and we'll just clean up some of the edges. And don't let the file do the work. Don't make the file do the work. Like, don't gouge it with the file. You don't want to put no muscle into the file. Let the file do all the work. If you can see, there's that flashing right here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but there's that flashing right there. And these can be tricky when it's like this. So what I usually like to do is I'll take my Dremel, which I don't have right here. I'll take my Dremel with one of the diamond wheels and I'll smooth that surface out. So I'm not going to mess with that too much. As you can see in this one, there's flashing here, right here in this area, and then down on the pillars. The back window as well, you can see the flash. So all that needs to be cleaned up. So that's what you want to use your file for, is to clean that up. And you can see where you need to go and how far to go and all that, because you can see where the line for it is to stop. If that makes sense. So like I said, let the file do the work. And we'll just go in here and clean up those areas. There we go. So, as you can see, I still got a little bit more work to do because it's a little uneven right here. But, for the most part, I've cleaned it up pretty well. And then the front window, let's see if we can zoom in on that. So as you can see, I got that flash mark. I'm going to handle that with the wheel on the Dremel, the diamond bit. On the bone shaker, as you can see up in the window here, and then on this back portion right here, that needs to be cleaned up. I've already went through and cleaned up the back, so the back is all nice and clean. I don't have any extra flash, but I still have that little problem right there to deal with. But like I said, I'll be taking the wheel to that as well. So this is how I strip and prep my casting for my body work. So prep work makes the best work. Everybody's said that a million times. Everybody knows that rule. So the more time you take prepping your casting, the better the outcome is going to be as far as paint and presentation. So presentation to me is everything. You should be proud to put your name on what you've done. And I feel as if anybody who's customizing these, if you're putting in artwork, any artist signs its piece. For one, I like to get my customs from artists that sign their pieces, because for one, if I'm talking about it, or if I'm showing somebody, or if it gets brought up, like who made this for you, or who made that, it's easily identifiable. I can go and I can show them that the artist signed it here, and usually they number it. I know I do. So that's why it's not a narcissistic thing why I sign my diecast. I don't like that. I sign my diecast because if you put in the work, you should be proud enough to put your name on it. That's my opinion on the matter. I'm not one that I care to show my face. You guys ain't missing out on much. Hell, I'm lucky I still have a wife. I'm not a pretty dude. And that's okay, because we're not here to look at my face. We're here to look at these cut die casts. So, as far as, you know, being all on the camera and all, I don't I don't do that, and I'm sorry. I apologize if some of you wish that I would, but that's not me. That's not who I am. I like to focus on the diecast. I like to focus on this right here and only this right here. I'm all about the diecast. So that has nothing to do with me, my face, anything else that represents me, any of my beliefs, anything like that. I love these. These are what I love, the diecast. Diecast. I love them. I love working on them. I love putting my artwork on them. And that's the only thing I'm here for. The only reason why I log on or get on or do any of that is to enjoy the hobby with others who like to enjoy the hobby and who also like to create artwork out of it. And I like to see what they're working on and pick their brains and get ideas and get inspired from their builds. And I love the hobby in itself. So, but I hope this helped you guys out. I appreciate the requests on asking me to make videos on certain subjects and certain things that I do. So thank you for the ones that are watching and paying attention and asking these questions. As long as you guys continue to request videos to be made and my opinion or how I do the custom work, I'll continue to record and post them. So thank you. Big shout out to everybody that follows along, and thank you guys for all the support. I really appreciate that, because without you guys, I would be nobody. I would just be some guy playing with his toy cars, which is okay too. But I hope you guys have a happy and blessed, healthy day. Go out and find something awesome. Go out and score you a super treasure hunt or a chase piece. Take your hairy friends with you. Remember, dogs are human beings too. They just got longer hair than we do. Alright guys, I'm going to log off now. I will holler at you guys on the next run. Thank you guys. All the love to you. From here in the Vroom Room, this is Dave Hosser signing off.